going on, everybody? Dogman Dan here. We are in Warframe, and I'm going to throw everybody for a loop. I'm going to talk a little bit about the Snipetron Vandal. Suddenly felt like playing it again. You've probably seen it in a couple of my videos fairly recently. Well, I was throwing some Forma into it, so now I've got about 3 Forma into it. Pretty happy with it. Never know, I may change it again. Just, you know, I pick weapons at random when I'm in the mood to play something, and I'll Forma it up and mess around with it to fit what I'm doing at the time. And, you know, things can always change, but definitely wanted to play around with this one for a little bit, so I did. It's available now through sortie missions. Not right now, but that's the way you can acquire it, through the sortie rewards now when it's available in the sortie reward setup. Now, what's different between the Snipetron and the Snipetron Vandal is that the Snipetron Vandal has a better magazine size and reload speed, but it has less impact and slash damage, though we get a much nicer puncture damage, if you will. So that's always a nice thing. I like the puncture damage sometimes, and especially on this weapon. It also has an 8 punch through of 3 meters, so you don't necessarily have to use punch through mods. You can, of course, increase the punch through by using punch through mods. Always a nice thing too. Very good in accuracy. Has a nice critical chance in it, so you can get a lot of crits out of it. Your zooming will increase your damage, okay, depending upon, there's 2 zoom options, so either way it'll increase your damage. It does have a higher recoil, but that's not something that's really too noticeable once you've started to play around with it enough. Once you get used to using it, it's actually not too horrible. Small magazine, but I don't find that I run out of ammo, really, for me, so it's not a big thing. Definitely, though, you want to probably take with you when you're running this weapon, like a good melee or something, to just have for close range combat in case that happens to you. Another nice thing that you can do with this is, in terms of auras, you have the Deadeye aura, which is the sniper rifle damage increase. At max, you can get 35% additional sniper rifle damage on there, so that's always a nice thing to have too, if you want to use it, if you feel like you can equip it. So there's nothing wrong with doing that. And of course, now with me, I'm going to show you my setup here in a minute, but with me, you know, I'm always just, I have my Helios all the time, which has my radiation and viral. You guys know that. I have, you know, my few Warframes that I like to use a lot, and so I have a mixture of different things. If I'm using Oberon, I've got more radiation, of course. If I'm using Neza, I've got fire. If I got Frosty, you know, stuff like that. So one of the main things that I always go for in terms of weaponry is to always go with corrosive, or heat and corrosive, that type of thing. So that's kind of where I start to work with, because I already have the other elements available to me. So there's that. I do enjoy this weapon, just me. So let me go ahead and show you what I've got set up right now on this. Okay, so it's pretty simple loadout here. Serration for damage, split chamber for the multi-shot. Heavy caliber, it does bring your accuracy down, but honestly, with the snipers, it doesn't really affect it too much. So you'll actually still be fine with heavy caliber. I don't have mine max rank. I never felt like I needed to, so I'm perfectly fine with that. Point strike here, giving me a nice critical chance. And actually, let me just do this here for you guys so you can see a little bit better here. 62.5% critical chance on here. Brought up the 4.4 multiplier with Vital Sense. And then I just went ahead and I threw in a little extra puncture. What the heck, why not? Just my flavor. And just straight up corrosive here with a 53% status chance. So you'll proc a lot as well, which is a nice thing. It's just kind of a nice little rounded out type of weapon, if you will. I tried a few different things. I mean, you can bring the magazine size up to like a magazine 8 with magazine warp here. If you wanted to, but not really a big thing to me. I just kind of like going with this as it is. 3 Forma, pretty simple. Like I said, you're not going to notice that much of a difference in terms of accuracy by adding the heavy caliber, so what the hell, just go for it. Add it in there. Make yourself happy. I'm just curious what other people do with their Snipetron Vandal, so feel free to leave comments on that below. But this is where I'm at with it right now. Of course, always subject to change like everything else. Anyway, thanks for checking it out, and I'll catch you guys soon.